Thrift.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how GAM play this one out. As I was saying, I completely agree with Quincy that Coded is the X factor here for Luxury. I think Luxury have a very boring composition outside the
Yes.
period. Not to say not a bad composition, but boring. This is bog standard. So it's on Coded to be the X factor, to be the reason that they can actually beat a on paper better team in GAM, as these mid laners have decided that who needs pots?
Indeed. So there are a few very interesting things about both of these compositions. I want to. We can get into the nitty gritty later. I have a lot of things to say about the Senna, but first I want to start with the Fiora on the top side because she went for some options that aren't like I haven't seen Fiora that often, right? So I don't know too much about the current Fiora setup, but seeing the Ghost is already interesting because Ghost is mostly into Tryndamere matchups, is there to kite the Tryndamere. So I would have expected him in a more aggressive setup, maybe to go Ignite into the Tryndamere, to force him back in lane earlier and even try to threaten maybe a walk away kill on level 6. Instead he went Ghost, so probably trying to kite Kiaya later on. And then also Grasp, so way stronger in the laning phase early on, makes him a little bit weaker in prolonged fights. So that's some of the things I'm noticing here for Coated. And on the center side,
Kiaya's already burnt his flash.
Wow, wait, why?
I think there must have been a level 1.
Probably,
he
yeah.
noticed. I think what happened, if I'm going to guess, but obviously we don't know, he got the good vital RNG where it was on his back, so he went for XD Tryndamere level 1 and tried to flash to kill him, but obviously wasn't successful.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the Senna, of course I do. So this Senna actually... So what immediately catches my eye is her choice of runes. Now we have seen a lot of Sennas go for this more defensive option. I'm not the biggest fan, of course. I like to play as greedily as possible because Senna is in essence a very greedy champion. So the fleet footwork here means she has more sustain lane, means she also scales well with crit later on in the game. Levi is here.
Uh-oh. The riposte has been used as well, so Coda can't stop the Hecarim as he goes,
ring around the Rosie.
And they ring around the Rosie, and Coda just lives. Levi is going to have the E up again soon, but we have to look at the mid lane as Blazers now is in a lot of trouble, as, again though, Levi just calls it off.
Oh, I loved her. Kota just immediately went back to the minion wave. Super overextended. He doesn't give a damn. But here we go again. Attempt number 2.
He might give a damn now. Levi tried to play it smart there, but Kota just flashes away. No big brain moves required. Style caught on a ward. I think that might have been a little bit of an accidental A click, but it's not going to get punished. Ooh, never mind. Flash for flash.
Flash for slash, and Vid with unfortunate weapons there. If he has purple gun, that's a kill. But he's still on his first gun rotation, so not really bringing any CC to the table. Not the greatest setup to punish the roaming Senna. Senna overextended to a certain extent there. Also B has not played with Senna too much, because he just got rid of the cannon minion before Senna got to the lane, which is very unfortunate, because that's a guaranteed soul you're not going to get. But we have more action. Levi's controlling the early pacing of the jungle on the Tryndamere, and another attempt in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Hecarim moves in, but finds nothing. Cardi's actually a little bit low, so he has to... This is potentially just making sure he can back safely, but with no TP on the Vex, and a Rise that's able to just hard shove, this is not a great start here for the GAM laners. Or the mid lane, at least. Top's going fine.
Yeah, Blazers, of course, making use of the teleporters he alluded to, and that gave him early priority. Cardi has a lot of bursts damage with the Ignite under his belt, but this is going to go at the cost of maybe a level or half a level because he doesn't have the TP. Ooh, be a little bit overextended, but he's a tanky boy. Already at level 4, he's sitting on 1.2, 1.3k HP, so no problem whatsoever for the Sign.
He is a very big boy. We see 14 souls already picked up by Style. Nothing super good, but it is very, very early doors, so we won't judge him quite yet. Killer Queen having no impact so far. The Graves, honestly, bit of a weird one for him. just because with how turbo aggressive he's been recently, you'd think he wants something with a little bit more explosive ganks.
Yeah, and maybe that's the coach is saying, okay, we can't control you on the Rift, but we can control you in draft. We cannot make you stop invading and perma-flashing on the opponent on Lee Sin, so let's just put you on a useless champion that can only farm. And you can see, he's farming away. He's only ahead by 1 camp, which isn't too great. He could have tried to get the dragon. It's a little bit scary into the bot lane, but I think there's actually a good opportunity here, especially after spotting Levi. So I expect him to invade bot side into dragon. That's a decent early setup, but of course putting behind Coated is also definitely to the game plan for GAM. Because Coated, as Quincy alluded to on the analyst desk, is the X factor in this game, and putting him behind, that's a pretty good start for GAM.
Yeah, it 100% is. He's going to move forward there. Needs to play very carefully against a level 6 Tryndamere. Your tower offers no safety against this abomination. I don't think Kiai will go for anything. He is just lane kingdoming at the moment, which is not an ideal thing. There's the grand challenge coming out. Kiai, that's 3 proc, and that's an easy 4th. Coded is in a good position here. The Tryndamere ult still not being used. Now it is. And Kiai wants to turn it back around. He brings down the sword, but
it's close, it's close.
A bit of time. It's going to come down to a crit, and he gets it. Kiai, first blood.
That's exactly what you always talk about. Such an abomination of a champion. He gets the lucky crit. Coated is fuming in his gaming house. It is so ridiculous to get the crit there. And Killer Queen actually didn't go towards the dragon. That was free and he didn't pick it up. So now they're in a really big hole. They tried to play bot side focused, but then Killer Queen called off the early objective. And the top lane was winning organically now. So what is Luxury going to play through? Bot lane is under constant pressure with a super strong setup of Senna Sion. The great thing about Senna Sion too is that Sion can just tank anything. You can't kill him in the early game, especially on something like Aphelios. He just has too much HP. And it came down to the last few auto attacks. So Coated, all the while, he's trying to bait Kiai's ult early, but Kiai holds on to the ultimates for such a long time. That's perfectly played from Kiai. He's on the fully stacked bar, so that's the 35.
So yeah, the ult runs out there. So that came down to 2 bits of RNG, and it's why it's 2 of the mechanics I hate the most in this game. He got a bad Vital, he didn't have the Vital on the right side when it really mattered, and the Tryndamere crit. Because the ult ran out.
But the thing Kiai could control were actually super well played. Kiai held back his ult super long, and that's the perfect thing. There's not much you can do mechanically on Tryndamere, but he played what is possible on Tryndamere as best as he could. And he got rewarded with a 35% crit at the correct situation. So the better ADC wins, I guess. Now Coated is in a really bad position. Levi is still playing towards top side. And we finally see Killer Queen take the dragon, but it's too late. In my opinion, 2 minutes too late. Killer Queen squandered an early opportunity to go towards the dragon snowball earlier. And you are playing a composition with Fiora. You never want to teamfight around dragons. So this game is gonna be a weird one later on. Yeah, this dive can never work against Sion, though. That's decent damage. Never mind me.
They're gonna have a crack at it. There's a collateral damage. They don't necessarily have to kill the Sion. They can just kill the Senna. And Killer Queen will use the shotgun to do just that. B pops the ultimate, but the Lantern gets them out. It's answered, though, onto the top side as Kiai is going low, but Tryndamere, Keck W. Who cares? Tanks up the tower and Hecarim gets the kill.
The helicopter boys working together, E and Q from Levi and Kiai, just assure the kill. And then now we have a redive. They need to make this work.
Again. They do it perfectly. Lovely.
It's still a losing play though, because Levi of course still has the Rift Ult. They are not even utilizing the Rift Ult, instead opting to deny more resources from Coated, who is falling further and further behind. He's 2 levels down to Kiai, 2 kills given up, and Levi has another lane to play through now with the Rift Ult, because another wave is crashing. Tryndamere could have overextended to try and get the tower down, but it's pretty tanky at this point, so instead they opt out of snowballing immediately and go for the long run. This was executed exceptionally cleanly from Luxury. Perfect focus, perfect positioning of the Lantern. Look at this, CBL already anticipated the overextension with the Lantern, and then is safe out for the enemy jungler. And this is just sad. Coated even blowing his flash, so now he's extra vulnerable for the next one. Very bad flash.
That's a really bad flash. That never ever saves you. Let's have a look at the back half of this as well. As
It's not too exciting.
And yeah, it's not exciting, but you know, it is perfectly executed.
Yeah.
This is a textbook dive.
And once again, I have to praise CBL. We wanted to see CBL in. CBL, Thresh, has always been the best Thresh in the VCS. He's exceptional at these hook champions, and he's finally back in the lineup, setting up everything perfectly in this dive. 1-0 for him, 2 assists for his ADC, and a kill to his jungler, who's now on his first item as well. The problem with the Graves into Hecarim matchup is Hecarim can just completely ignore the Graves. Whenever they meet, Hecarim just runs away, but now he might be a little too deep.
Yeah, but he just goes straight in onto Blazers. He uses the ultimate as well. Wants to bear down on him. He will kill the enemy mid laner.
Cardi's dead.
Can Cardi get out? No. Collateral damaged. But Kiaya wants to come in and deal some damage of his own. Vit's getting choppered. He flashes over the wall to make sure that Aphelios does fall. And GAM come out ahead.
Terrible positioning and communication from Luxury. I'm not sure what they try to go for, but you can't fight against Sion Senna being safe on the other side while Tryndamere can do whatever he wants. Beautiful Senna ulti there as well to assure even better dive potential, and Kiaya is just running amok. He can do whatever he wants in this game. Such a different look to his first Tryndamere game, because that one was not great. So
no, it was not. I think he might have taken us saying it was bad personally. Wants to prove us wrong.
Also, I love all the itemization coming in here. We finally see it here on Hecarim. I've seen way too many full tank Hecarims in the last 2 days. It's so insanely useless. But let's take a look first. They have great positioning to collapse on the mid laner. Blazes goes down instantly. But now look at all the better lines for GAM on this side. B just buys time. No one deals damage to him. He's barely below his full HP bar. And then Kiaya can do whatever they want because they blew all the ACC on B. He's not the target, and very seldomly is focus actually a word you would ever want to use in a professional game, because in almost all situations you just focus the first target he can see. But with the Sion in the bot lane, that's really something you have to consider, because he's nothing but tanky. He doesn't deal damage, he has barely any CC. CC is very easy to dodge. He's really just bag of meat. So you cannot waste any of the CC especially onto him. And now, I mean, it's only a 2k gold lead at 13 minutes, which is less than GAM averages, but it's already looking very bleak for Luxury.
And I mean, I want to quote our smart analyst saying, this Fiora is 10-0 or 0-10. Well, it's currently 0-2, so we're 8 away, Crincy. Let's hope we don't get all the way there, as there's the Shadow Surge being used. They want to go in onto Killer Queen. They use everything, and they get the reset. Cardi moves forward again. Vex is powered up. There's another. If he wants to go on CBL, of course he does. And Vex sets up 3.
And it's just overwhelming pressure from every side. From the GAM has come to play again, and there's just nothing Luxury can do. They're weak in almost every position. They have less agency, especially through the jungle position. Their top laner is in a constant state of disarray in top lane, just trying to catch waves. So everywhere GAM goes, they are on an advantage, and they can even try to go for more aggressive, outnumbered plays, but in this case they have better CC, they have better collapse, they have better backline access, they have better tankiness. Everything is just going their way, and this game is very quickly turning unwinnable for Luxury.
And I hope you understand sometimes when Set was meta, and I was always so excited to see my main get picked and then not actually talk about him at all during a cast, because style, not a bad center, hasn't really mattered though.
Yeah. It gave them the option of the tank from the bot lane, which I think is just a very cool thing we don't see often enough, because then Senna enables these kinds of picks, and Sion is the perfect fit for this composition, because he buys so much time, right? But it's not about the Senna as a champion, it's about the Senna as a concept. And that's also why I love this champion so much. It opens up so many different things. As Coated needs to run away quickly. He has Ghost ready. So let's see if he tries to.
Blocking shout lands. Grand challenge. One more to find. He does manage to proc the heal. The riposte is used. Kiaya doesn't even use the ult. I mean, that's not a great center ult. Doesn't, not quite the right angle. Coated does get away, but you can't enter the side lane.
Yeah, now what was the Fiora for? She can't teamfight. We know that. She's gonna die. Ooh, close. she didn't die in this case, but she died too many times. She's behind in every aspect in the top lane. She can't teamfight as well as Tryndamere, which is ridiculous because Tryndamere is not a great teamfighter in the first place. In this composition, he kind of is though, because Senna and Sion give him so much space and time, so you can wait for everything to go down and act as a Katarina kind of champion. But Fiora can't. And Fiora doesn't offer anything in the side lane because she loses every side lane matchup, so it's basically a 4v5 for the side of Luxury, and Coated will never accomplish anything in this game.
Yeah, it's part of... We never really got a chance to talk about it because the matchup went so badly so quickly, but I think even if the Fiora goes even in lane, I don't know if she can side lane against a Tryndamere as the game goes on. He still sort of becomes the premier side lane champion. And then a Fiora has to teamfight, which is a fat Keck W. But Blazers, he's in a lot of trouble as this Ryze is just getting bullied. They use the Hecarim ult, but he does finally burn down. Levi very deep, but it doesn't matter as Cardi has tagged up with another ult, jumps on in. Kiaya doing a good job as well. Still has access to the Trynd ult. Cardi has an absolute magnet attached to Shadow. Jumps in, Coded. Gets a little bit of distance, but not quite enough. Kiaya, he does not want to let this one end as he's going under the towers, chopping down CBL. He finds Vit as well, and he lives, Yulway. He lives!
Gorgeous team fighting from Kati especially. Yeah, Kiaya just showed a little bit more ridiculous Tryndamere-ness. We are going to ignore that part of the fight, but we kind of forgot about Kati Vex. Kati Vex is insane. We saw glimpses of it in winter when Vex was really high priority, still almost banned every game. But Kati Vex is probably the best Vex in the VCS together with Froggy, and he just hits every ultimate. It's a point-and-click ability.
He's got a magnet.
Yeah, and Kati kites away here. Kiaya actually, very valuable kiting for Kati, or appealing, I should say, for Kati. And then he hits another ultimate, and he hits another one on Coated. Of course he does. Goes in again. He does pay the price in the end with, from the other side, Aphelios actually hit a good ultimate. Vit at least gets one back. Kati missed one ultimate there, so you got the 4 times the value you should get from this ultimate. And when you can do that on Vex, the champion is very broken.
And we come back to live, and he gets revenge on the one that managed to kill him. He's going to pay the price for it, but he does kill the enemy AD carry.
Yeah, this game is just a little bit of show-off now for GAM. We've seen so many games where they just decide to win the game in 15 minutes, and the rest is just a little bit of show for the fans. We have cool champions, and they can improve their win rate on some of these, especially the Tryndamere for Kiaya. Good KDA so far in this game as well. He can go wherever he wants, as Kati just cleanly executes the enemy ADC. It's a one-way trip. It's Vex. So she knows if she goes in there, she probably can't come out, but it's still a kill. It feels great for him, and as I said before, he can do whatever he wants. Coated cannot, Coded. Though.
Yeah, I mean, this was not the Fiora game. This is looking like a Yoshino Fiora.
Oh, come on. Yoshino Fiora is very good.
He's catching strays.
Why did you do our boy like that? He's a very good Fiora player.
I don't know. He's had some clangers. But regardless, it's not what we want. Out of Coded for sure. I said he threw down the gauntlet, but he has not won the duel.
And in the end, it looks worse than it actually is, I'd say, because yeah, it came down to a crit in the early game, a little bit of misexecution from Coded, maybe also very good play from Kiaya. But the attempt still counts, I feel like. You look at GAM, the huge gauntlet thrown by them, the 5,000 gold averaged at 15 minutes, and you don't really think you're going to win this game anyway, so trying a volatile strategy, trying to play through one champion that can really take over a whole game, I don't hate it too much. It looks really bad on screen right now, but if you just think about the concept coming into this game and why Coated went for it, I don't think you have to really flame him too much. Maybe for the execution, but not for his willingness to play a volatile champion.
I agree. I think that's very fair. On the same note, I think GAM playing this kind of composition is also something really interesting to look at. Obviously, last time they did it with the Sion mid against SGB, looked pretty terrible. This time it looks a lot better. Oh, as we go up to the top side, Killer Queen has been taken down. Can B survive? No, Blazers will pick up that kill. There's a CBL Lantern as well. And Carty does not have the ultimate to follow up. But they do have Style, who needs to play this one very carefully. Here comes the cavalry as Levi arrives, misses the ult completely and dies.
Great.
Good job, Levi.
Amazing
Good
performance.
job, Cap.
But now it's Style time. Style has a front line. He can kill everyone. Style.
He gets one, he gets two. Can he find his way onto Vit? No, not quite.
Also a true center player. He sees the last kill. He doesn't care. There are 4 souls. He needs the souls. There we go. Style, I'm proud of you. This is what I want to see for my centers. And he finally got to stay back and hit from the backline. He's going for the highest DPS build too. So not actually the most common center build, but the center build we see most in pro play, which is still the crit focused, attack speed focused build. So he provides the traditional ADC role for his team, which makes a lot of sense because they kind of have an ADC in the top lane, but not a ranged ADC. And B, he's a tanky boy, but not quite tanky enough. But you can see, wow, Carty's damage. He just one-shot Killer Queen there.
I think it's weird that that play started with us just kind of watching like a lumberjacking competition. They were just cutting a tree down for a while. But yeah, I mean, this is great by Levi. Look, he's allowed to make mistakes every now and then.
Oh yeah, it's into the perfect weapon combo for Vit. So Vit just stands there, presses Q twice, onslaught, and then the turret, and Levi evaporates instantly. Great kiting from Style, actually really nicely positioned here. Walked a little bit too far forward into the box, but then walked back out and used his range, and Q accuracy was great as well. So actually kind of proud of Style, the first good center we've seen in a while, but now he dies, unfortunately.
He really does. You praised him. You're not allowed to do it. You know that you have powers, you filthy warlock. But GAM answering, trying to hit the inhibitor, but they have to pull off immediately. Now there's a teleport. This could be Luxury trying to get back into it your way. They are a long way down, and I'm pretty scared, even with this numbers advantage up against Kiaya as he's bringing out the sword. He's already pressed the ultimate. He gets one. Can he get a second? He can do it your way. He gets caught by collateral damage, and that's all that actually stops him. The Tryndamere finally falls, but it doesn't matter when Levi cleans up another. In goes the Shadow Surge. They both have to flash. GAM are unstoppable.
That is ridiculous. Can we ban this champion from competition, please? That's not fair. Well, I'm really curious what happened to Vit's Q. He had the purple gun hit on Kiaya, but Kiaya was still able to move. I'm not entirely sure why. I need to watch that again. I thought they were going to be able to lock down Kiaya for a little bit longer, but then the crucial flash on top of Vit, and I think he 2-shot him or 3-shot him. That was ridiculous. I think he crit on every single auto attack, and Vit just disappeared. He was wiped off the face of the earth.
To be fair, he probably, with full rage, he probably has
close to 100. Yeah, that's true.
Part's not luck.
I don't think he finished his third item yet, so he should be at like 70 or 80% crit. But let's take a look at the replay once it comes up. It's the Baron. We don't really need to talk about the Baron. I know you have to talk about implications after play and not about the replay, but I mean, the game is over. So let's take another look. They get the pink gun here. Vit?
Flash? Gale Force? He just doesn't activated, it seems.
No, he pressed the Q. You saw the animation come down, but for some reason was kind of overtaken by Tryndamere moving and hitting. That looked a little sketchy to me, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, in the end, Kiaya gets away, and Vid did not anticipate that damage coming his way. Kiaya 8, 1, and 2. And it feels good to look at Kiaya and his KE in this game, because he got dragged by another ADC in Game 2 against SGB, and he's on a vengeance. He wants to show everyone that he can play the melee ADCs, and Tryndamere... Is this our first very good Tryndamere game? I feel like all the Tryndamere so far have been disappointing.
I think we've had one other good Tryndamere. I can remember a good Tryndamere, but I can't remember who it was. This is definitely the best Tryndamere.
Sure.
I don't think that's really.
Yeah, we had Coded actually played the Tryndamere. He was 6-0, but his team fighting was actually not the greatest. So Kiaya showing even more ability to play the champion, not only in laning phase, but also in team fights. And Trinami is a weird champion, because everyone knows him as a split pusher, but actually in most of the games he wins, he tends to be very effective in team fights as well. And this is the way you want to play him in team fights as well, with a lot of other threats. Fiora is supposed to win this matchup, by the way. She kind of does.
I think she probably does over time, particularly if B misses the ultimate. Not if you take a tower shot. That's a bad situation. You don't get the riposte on the Q. Yeah, she definitely wins that over time, but not going to get the time to do it. But Cardi's not going to get the time to live, as he just goes kaboom. And now they've got the realm.
Oh, Kiaya
just shoots it on out. Kiaya just goes Cell style up the river. Is now coded on the run. Coming down.
That was the most amazing death I've ever seen from Kati. Just stood there, got hit by a death sentence, insta-dead. Nice.
I do like when death sentence lives up to its name.
Agreed. Just great play. I'm not sure how Levi ended up in top lane out of nowhere. Where was he the whole time? But yeah, the game is a little bit loose, I guess. GAM players having fun. Luxury, not really, because they are on a losing streak. They really need to get it together. They're not supposed to win today, to be fair to them. It's GAM, it's the best team in the league. They're 4-0, they're 8-1 game score. But still, Luxury ended up in 3rd place in regular season last split in winter, and they need to show us that they are here to stay, that they are an established VCS org. They want to show everyone that their players are good enough to be in playoffs again. Doesn't really look that way so far.
But definitely doesn't look like it at the moment. But they went for a risky draft around the Fiora. It didn't work. That can be remedied in game 2. No question.
I like the whole breaker Fiora. The whole breaker uncoated. He's gonna hit turrets. I promise, guys. I promise.
I mean, I kind of want this game to go on for a little bit longer because I want Quincy to be right. It needs to go 0-10. I don't think the game's going to go nearly long enough, but it would be very prescient by our premier and analyst.
That's how you pronounce that word? Interesting.
Prescient, yeah.
Prescient. There's an IE, by the way, in the inventory of Kiaya. He is now sitting on 80% crit just from his items, so if he stacks up his bar to half, around about half, he's going to be on 100% crit, and he has the highest base AD in the game, so he's probably also sitting on something like 400 AD. So have fun playing against that Vid. It's going to be a very quick experience in the team fights. Hit, dead. So I think GAM can do whatever they want in this game. There's not really much to talk about. I guess we can try and find his redeeming quality.
Scion Speedway has left the station as B surfs his way in. He's taking a lot of damage, but it
look at
Kiaya. Alive. They pick up the first kill. Kiaya's got the chop and a chop going as he uses the ultimate early enough, though, so he has to actually back off for a little while as the Felios throws out a lot of damage with those chakrams. They actually trade back well onto the Vex. Blazers now potentially activated, but the inhib falls.
Style could have killed Vid there. Style caught Vid with the W, and he had flash available. Just flash Q auto hit, and you kill the enemy ADC. You probably can finish the game afterwards because the other ADC is still alive. So a little bit disappointed in Style's awareness in the fight there. But in the end, Luxury lives to fight another day, and they've actually stayed alive in this game for 30 minutes. There's almost no chance they win the game, but they can extend their game time and GAM's game time. So,
but your way. You have to understand that this is a tactical mistake from Luxury, because now you've made GAM go over their union mandated 26 minutes, and now they got to make the time up next game.
Oh no!
And you don't want an angry GAM.
Oh, no.
That's the biggest threat in this league is accidentally making GAM angry, because then they kill you in like 10 minutes.
It's true. 3 items completed for Senna, or 3.5 if you count the support items, so she's actually quite strong as well. That's also why I'm disappointed she didn't go for the flash execute on Vid, because I think she definitely had the damage there. The much bigger threats are the top side, though. We have to say Kati, after I praised him, has died quite a bit.
Okay, Luxury. I mean,
why not?
Last chance saloon. Yeah, sure. If they don't,
and they actually get it.
Baron. They're gonna get it. I
Oh,
don't
no,
think they can...
no,
oh,
no.
Oh, Levi, Captain Heartbreak as he steals the Baron. Insult to injury as B will go into the zombie form. It's on style as Levi crashes back through. Blazers will be the next to fall to the zombie. The Style? One
Style?
more
Auto tech?
is
Hello?
all they need. There it is, Style. How about you right-click on the enemy? Come on, mate. You can do it. Killer Queen, he's in trouble. And one more auto should just about do it if they can find
Just go in there!
Go in! Walk in! They know where he is. They're trying to delay the back, I guess, or the reset. He has to be a little bit careful. He finally kills him. But look who's already in the base. It's Kiaya and GAM win a ridiculous game. They dominate.